What is up? What is up? What is up? It is your favorite demon, misunderstood demon, back with another podcast episode. I know it's been a minute since I've done anything, but I've just been working on music and everything like that. But I am back. Do not worry, this podcast is not dead. I am just very inconsistent. But for this episode for the podcast, I just want to talk about my opinion on beef. In a sense, like rivalries and everything like that, because one big one that happened recently was Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole and Drake, and J. Cole doing everything and then he apologizes and everything. But I want to talk about not just music, like on the music aspect of the beef. I want to talk about that of the rivalries with games and also the rivalries with animation as well, between like anime and cartoons and everything. So, get ready for that. All right. Peace. Okay, so the first segment that I want to talk about for this episode is the beef when it comes to music, relatively more so hip hop and everything. Because, of course, you already know I am a hip hop artist. I love hip hop and everything. I love everything hip hop itself. But this really sparked my interest about beef, mostly just because of the biggest thing that happened, which is Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole and Drake and everything that happened with that. Mostly just because Kendrick Lamar is my number one artist. He is my favorite artist of all time for hip hop and everything. I think for me personally, T-Pap is his best album that he ever made. It is, in my opinion, the best album, like hands down. Of course, like I said, those are my opinions, but to stop talking about that, I want to talk about the beef that happened, and mostly just like the industry itself. Like the music industry, how beef really and what it does really. Because I feel like this beef that happened with Kendrick and J. Cole, with Kendrick on the verse for Like That, with Metro and Future, and he was talking about the big three, it's just Big Me. And then J. Cole coming out, I think it was about a week later, I don't remember. But I know it was April 5th. And he dropped the surprise mixtape. I'm not going to say album because I don't believe it was an album. I think it was a mixtape. I could be wrong. But when he dropped Might Delete Later, and then it was the 3-minute track, I believe. And it was the 7-minute drill. And that literally was just shots at Kendrick, basically. And Drake is, not doing anything, as he should. But I digress. And then literally 2 days later after that, J. Cole apologizes, saying that, I shouldn't have done that. It was the lamest shit that I ever wrote, blah, 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 and everything like that. So, of course, I listened to it because I am a J. Cole fan. It's not like I think he sucks or anything. I think he's very good. I love KOD, Forest Hill. You have The Fall Off. I can't wait for his next one. I feel like that's going to be a really good album. And, I feel like the beef between J. Cole and Kendrick, it was unnecessary to a certain degree, because I feel like Kendrick, he kind of just said the shit because he was just like, I'm Kendrick Lamar. It's one of those where it's just like majority of beefs is kind of just like, I just said shit really just to say shit, and like sometimes like just to like stir everything. But for J. Cole to come back with his response and then apologize for that response, I feel like it was kind of just unnecessary to do, because it was just like, him saying, my friends and everything, they were egging me on, so I made it and everything. No, if they're not the ones that are hand in hand making the music for you and everything like that, they, you shouldn't have made it. But once he did make it, I feel like it could have just been like, it's out there, who cares at this point, because I feel like it's all nothing but just good competition, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure Kendrick didn't mean anything by it. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Maybe he means it a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's like, it's still like all love and everything for the big three. But it really made me think about the beefs that has happened like throughout the years and everything, and like the type of disses that happened and like the impact that it had. And I feel like for the music industry nowadays, like this generation of music and everything, I feel like the beefs are kind of not necessarily like as impactful or like as important. Some of them are, like for example, I feel like a really big impactful one that happened recently, well, not necessarily recently, but happened, a while back, was the one with Pusha T and Drake. I feel like that was a really big one, especially for Pusha T and, especially for Drake as well, because, with the story I added on, and then was it the Duppy freestyle, I believe that was the one with Drake that he made, responded to Pusha T, I believe. I could be wrong on that, if you want to correct me, go ahead. But I feel like that was a really impactful one just because of the amount of information that we got, especially from Pusha T's. I mean, the fact that Pusha T said, you're hiding a child and all that shit, it was the biggest thing. And it literally happened. I mean, what? Maybe a week, 2, maybe 3 weeks later, Drake is like, yeah, I have this kid. But it's not like a newborn baby or anything like that. He's what? 2.5 years old? Like, he's a child. He's a toddler. He's, like walking and shit. So, and we never heard anything about that before the thing with Pusha T and everything, him talking about it and everything. So it was just like, holy shit. And I feel like beefs like that, you don't see that as much. I feel like you don't see it because there's so much, in my opinion, there's so much fucking guns violence. It literally just goes, oh, you have beef with me? Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking shoot you. But I feel like there's nothing that impactful that really happens in the music industry. I feel like any beefs that really happen nowadays is kind of just like, oh, I'm doing this just to, up my sales, basically. Where it's just like, I'm biting on somebody, or, I say something slick about someone or anything like that. I feel like it's like no true ill will anymore, which, I'm happy for, just because it's just like, we don't need that type of negativity, that crazy shit sometimes. But I feel like there aren't really that many beefs nowadays that is just like, holy shit, like this is crazy. Like another big one I remember, and it really turned into nothing, was Joyner Lucas, and he had a beef with both Tory Lanez, and that we got a good couple of tracks, but then they hashed it out, and then they made the Suge freestyle the remix, which I enjoyed that. I enjoy both artists, okay? But then there was another one, and it was kind of just like a whatever one. It was Joyner Lucas, and he had beef with Logic over, I believe it was the Sriracha song by Tech 9. They were both on it, and Logic didn't really come through with like his craziest flows that he usually does and anything like that. Joyner took heart. He was just like, what happened? And then, he was sending shots. Logic sent a couple of shots, and then they ended up on the song Isis, Joyner's song, which is just like, okay, so it literally meant nothing. So whatever. I feel like beefs in the music industry is mostly just publicity stunts at this point. I feel like there's like no real beefs anymore, just because it's just like, I'm mostly just doing this just to get my streams up. I'm doing this just to get like, I'm trying to get more into public's face. I'm trying to get more like likes on my posts and all that shit. So I feel like that's mostly what it is nowadays, especially for the music industry. And I feel like, it is very welcome, just because it's like, no one's getting hurt or anything like that. No crazy shit's happening. Of course, some crazy shit will happen with some of these beefs, but thinking about the ones in the past versus the ones now, the impact is just not there, in my opinion. Like another big beef that happened way back, that like really sparked a lot, it was Kendrick again, when he did the Control verse with Big Sean as well as Jay Electronica. And that verse was, in my opinion, it impacted the way hip-hop was for that era, the 2016, what was it, like 2013, 14, 15, 16, those years and everything. Because around the time when Kendrick did the Control verse, you had him, he dropped Good Kid, Mad City, I believe, the year prior to that. And then he dropped that like 2012, and then 2013, I think Control came out. And then you had 2015, he had T-Pap. And then around the time, and I was thinking about it, I was just like, talking about the big three. Around the time, Drake, he had Take Care, and then he had Nothing Was the Same. In my opinion, those were like his best fucking bodies of work. I fucking love Nothing Was the Same, and I love Take Care. I feel like those are the two biggest albums from Drake, in my opinion, that I think is like, he really showed everything that he was as an artist, from both his singing and his rapping. And around that time, you also had J. Cole. You had, there was, in 2014, you had Forest Hill. You had, I believe, KOD, Born Sinner. And I believe For Your Eyes Only. I think that dropped a couple years later, if I'm being correct. And it was just like, around that time, you had so many other artists like What the Fuck and everything like that, and making shots at Kendrick and everything. And I feel like it really impacted hip hop for those years. Other than that, I feel like nothing else has really done a bigger impact than that. And like, not just like, with like a couple of artists or anything, just the community itself, everyone talking about it, everyone saying that, holy shit, Kendrick just went crazy, and he's like just coming up. He just released Good Kid, Mad City. There was Section 80 at the time. He had OD, which was his Overly Dedicated, which was his mixtape and everything. And then, of course, you had J. Cole, Drake, Big Sean, Jay Electronica. You had like Meek Mill, A$AP Rocky, and everyone just switching up their sounds and just being like, I'm gonna go for next now. You don't see that impact anymore, in my opinion. I feel like there's not a lot of beefs that like, holy shit, this is crazy, this is worth to, wait for a couple of diss tracks. You don't really see that. Even with people, someone like Eminem, I feel like, honestly, any beef with Eminem is just pointless, because it's just like, it's Eminem, in my opinion. Even though I do feel like he has slightly gotten worse throughout the years. I feel like he's not as good as he was way back. But I mean, anytime Eminem just goes for shots at anyone, it's not lethal or anything, but it's just like, goddamn, why, basically. But I mean, other than someone like that, and this little beef that happened with like Kendrick, J. Cole, and everything with the Like That, and then the 7-minute drill, I feel like there's just not a lot of beef that goes on nowadays in the music industry that is just like as impactful and as like memorable, in my opinion. I feel like instead of memorable, I feel like, and I hate using this word, but it's like more memeable, because it's just like, this happened, blah blah blah, and everything, and then it's kind of forgotten about like a week, 2 weeks later, and then it's just like, it's whatever, it happened, who cares? And people have been talking about it. They've been saying J. Cole shouldn't have done that, he shouldn't have apologized, it was ass, blah blah blah, Kendrick was worse, blah blah blah, and all that shit. At the end of the day, I was just like, nothing's gonna happen. In all honesty, I was like, they're not gonna go crazy back and forth. Now that J. Cole has apologized, saying that he shouldn't have done it, blah blah blah, he was the lamest shit ever, there's not gonna be a big back and forth. A lot of people have speculated though, and I am hoping for it. I am one of those hopefuls. We could get like a collab, not hopefully, like, if not a mixtape, at least like a single or like a couple of songs. Because Jesus Christ, we need one, god damn it. All right. I think we were supposed to get a J. Cole Kendrick collab album years ago, and we just never fucking got it. We got the Black Friday shit with them two on it, and I was just like, yes, we could be getting more. And then we didn't. God damn it. I was so pissed off with that shit. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of my opinion for the music industry. I mean, I have a little bit more on video games and animation, but for the music industry, I feel like beef just isn't as important nowadays. It's definitely all about just getting a rise out of, the fans and everyone like that, and just being like, I said this about this artist and everything, follow my shit, see why I said it and everything, and then getting the likes up and getting, comments, tweets, all that shit, their streams and everything. I feel like that's all it really is. It's mostly just, publicity stunts, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel there's nothing wrong with, it's beef and everything, but it's just like a small little publicity stunt to, get your streams up, get your popularity up and everything. Or you're not being popular and you're getting hated on, whatever you fancy as an artist. But all I'm saying is, I feel like beef it's important, especially for music, especially for something like hip hop, for, words and, just how heavy your words can really be in, on tracks and throughout the songs that you make and everything, and how impactful they can really be. But at the same time, it's just like, if a beef starts, then hey, let's get some good fucking diss tracks out of it, goddammit. Let's get some dope ass beats and let's get some severe freaking lyrics. Let's get some severe shit. Let's get some Pusha T story added on type of shit, all right? That's what I'm fucking looking for. I'm like, that's gonna be major. But I mean, like I said, overall, that's kind of the music industry for me when it comes to beefs. It's important, but at the same time, it's not that favorable because it's just publicity stunts. That's all it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, again, Kendrick won. That's just me. Kendrick won. But, whatever. So the next segment that I want to talk about for beef is video games, because I feel like it's been very up and down, left and right, and front and center. And of course, the biggest beef being between like PlayStation, Xbox, PC. Nintendo is in its own fucking lane, so we really don't talk about that one as much because Nintendo is just like, I'm fine, I don't care. But with a lot of recent exclusives from Xbox and exclusives from PlayStation, and how Xbox has some of their exclusives like gonna be like completely like all platforms that are gonna be on PlayStation. PlayStation's not doing that and everything. The beef with Xbox, PlayStation, PC gamers and everything like that, it's abysmal. I have to say it. It's abysmal. And for someone who I have both, I have a PS5, I have an Xbox Series X, I have a Switch. I don't necessarily have a PC. I just have a regular laptop. I don't play PC games or anything like that. And I understand for people who love playing on PC, it's better graphics, you get more out of it and everything like that. I just don't want to spend the fucking money. That's just me. Sure, I understand you can get like pre-built PCs and all that shit. I just don't want to spend the money. But when it comes to the console wars, like PlayStation, Xbox, and everything like that, I feel like the same with music. I feel like back in the day, it was better, it was bigger. It was just like they were really trying to go neck to neck and everything. Like, more people should play on Xbox. No, more people should play on PlayStation. And you kind of had exclusives that were like really meaningful and really impactful. Now, you do have good exclusives, but nothing that really moves anyone. And then you have like indie type games that come out that are on all platforms that blow some of these exclusives out the fucking water. It's just like, holy shit. Like, this came out of fucking left field. It was freaking fantastic. I mean, one game that I've been playing is it's called Ultros, and it's a Metrovania type game. It's an indie type game and everything, and it's fucking amazing. And it's on all platforms, and it was only like $24. Versus you get these exclusive, like, for example, I would say I play more PlayStation than I do Xbox. That's how I grew up. I grew up mostly PlayStation. I had a PS1, P2, then I switched to a 360, and then I came back to a P4 and a P5, and then I got my Series X. But I'm mostly a PlayStation kid, and I will say I've enjoyed the exclusives for PlayStation thus far. I've enjoyed, like God of War Ragnarok, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Horizon Forbidden West, as well as Horizon, the first one. I don't remember the fucking name of it for some goddamn reason. And, a couple of others. And I'm excited for a couple of new ones that are coming out. And I mean, I've replayed and I've started up some of the old ones, like Ghost of Tsushima. There is the new game that people are talking about, saying that it looks like shit. It looks like PS3 graphics, which is Rise of the Ronin. That, I believe, that is an exclusive. And I'm gonna be honest, it's actually pretty fun. If you give it a chance, it's pretty fun. But versus Xbox exclusives, I haven't really been playing anything as of late, because I mean, I don't buy anything on Xbox. I mostly have the Game Pass and I have the rewards and everything, so I kind of just play and then I get the points and everything. And I mean, I played maybe an hour of Starfield. I didn't get into it or anything like that, but I played an hour of it and I was just like, is not really for me. Of course, it was like day one, it was on Game Pass and everything, and I was like, cool, it's an Xbox exclusive, it's gonna be on Game Pass, cool. But it didn't capture me as much as I wished it would, because the way it was like described and everything, I thought it was gonna be a slam dunk. But the first hour in, I was just like, yeah, it's okay. It's not for me, and I was just like, it's whatever. But I went back and played some of the old ones, some of the old exclusives that Xbox had. Like, I played Sunset Overdrive, and I feel like that's a fantastic game. It's a a nice short game. It's like 10 hours. It is a good game. Holy shit. Me personally, I hope it does come to like PlayStation or something, or they make a Sunset Overdrive 2 and they make it like it's like on all platforms. But I mostly played that. I played a little bit of Hi-Fi Rush. I enjoyed that game. I just have to get back into it. I've been playing other stuff that isn't necessarily Xbox exclusives. I mean, the last Xbox exclusive I think I played was, I can't think of it because I really don't play any. But I mean, to get back on topic and everything, I feel like the beef when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox, I feel like it is slowly but surely dying out as the years go by, as the games come, all the games comes out and everything like that. Because nowadays everything is now becoming, it's available on all platforms. Everything nowadays is just all platforms, because it's just like, I'm not gonna be like, I'm just gonna be for this one console. I'm just gonna be for just PC or just Switch or anything like that. Well, for Nintendo is Nintendo. So if you want to play Mario and Zelda and all that shit, get a Switch. But other than that, other shit, it's mostly just like I feel like the beef has been dying slowly. And I mean, hell, I feel like Xbox hasn't given up, but it's kind of just like, it's whatever. They're mostly focusing on like Game Pass and everything, not necessarily like Xbox, all that crazy, Microsoft and everything. Whereas you have Sony, working on the PlayStation. There's rumors that a PSP 2 could be coming out, which could be awesome. But they had the PlayStation Portal. I didn't get it. I still want to get it just because, I love PlayStation shit. But I mean, it literally is just, it's good to have for if you just want to do remote play. But then it's just like, I got this other little retro console that I have, and they can also do remote play. So it's kind of just like, I kind of don't need I don't need to spend $200 just for a remote play thing, and it's not even, a PSP. But I mean, if we are going to get a legit PSP 2, then that could be very interesting, because then maybe a beef with the Switch, maybe the PSP 2 could be like kind of like the Switch, where it's like it's both mobile. Of course, it's going to be fucking mobile, but it could also possibly like hook up to the PlayStation 5 in a sense, maybe, something like that. But when it comes to the game industry with beef and everything, it definitely has dwindled to like embers, almost embers. Because, I mean, oh God, what exclusives are even coming out that look good? I mean, there is one, and I've been playing the demo for it, is Stellar Blade, which I believe that's a PlayStation exclusive. Fucking amazing game. Beautiful graphics. But is that it? That's the thing. And I mean, we're getting these huge big games coming out soon that we can pre-order now, like Star Wars Outlaws or GTA 6. You can't pre-order that, but whatever. Or games like that. And it's just like, they're going to be on all platforms. And it's like these huge big games that people are so excited for. It doesn't matter what console you get. It's like, these big games, these AAA games, they're going to be on all platforms. So it's just like, there is no need to be like, I'm team PlayStation, well, I'm team Xbox, blah 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 and everything. And to be honest, there's no point in also being that, I'm team PC, because everything always comes with PC. Yes, PC is gonna run better, probably gonna have better graphics, better gameplay, blah 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 and all that shit. Well, it's gonna be the same type of gameplay, but you know what I mean. But at the same time, it's just like there's no competition, because it's just like everyone has at least one console in their house, and possibly even a PC as well, at least. Because it's just like Yeah, sometimes you want to play on the PC, sometimes you just want to play on a console. There isn't necessarily a rivalry for Xbox and PlayStation anymore, just because it's just like the exclusives themselves hasn't been groundbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I fucking love Marvel Spider-Man 2. Holy shit, it's an amazing sequel to an already amazing game. And everything. I feel like there was little to anything like wrong with it. Of course, there were some hiccups here and there, but overall, I think it was great. I love the finale of it. If you haven't played it, spoilers, but I loved it with Venom and the whole thing with Miles, and you have Peter and everything like going back and forth, and the big, very cinematic ending and the big cinematic battle that they had, just going back and forth. It was awesome. But did it blow my socks off? Did it make me think, you know what? I'm so glad I got a fucking PlayStation to play this. No, not really. Hell, I'm not gonna even lie. Even something like Ragnarok, an amazing fucking sequel to God of War. Holy shit, an amazing game. Fucking Kratos versus Thor, that was awesome. Atreus, learning about himself and everything like that. It was awesome, but did it blow my socks off? No, it didn't. And of course, we have had stinkers here and there. We've had Forspoken, which I've played. I enjoy it. Me being who I am, I just love open world games. I feel like Forspoken was great. Was it the best thing? No. Square Enix, they were just like, maybe we fumbled a little bit. With Forspoken. But then they came back with freaking Final Fantasy, goddamn, I forgot which number, 16, whichever. That one with Clive and all that shit. Awesome shit. Holy crap, it was awesome. Oh my god, so cinematic, so beautiful. But did it really make me think, yes, I'm so glad. Again, did it make me think, oh yes, I'm so glad I got a PlayStation? No, not really. Because I was just like, it was great, but it wasn't anything that was just like, yeah, Sony is in the lead now, or type shit like that. And Xbox is the same way. I've played a couple of the exclusives and I was just like, yeah, they're okay. They're not the best thing, but they're okay. But both of the exclusives, and that kind of drives the consoles, because it's just like, which exclusives do you really want? But nowadays it's just like, we can just get anything because of PC, but I'd rather just play on the Switch. I have both, so I can just play both. There's no rivalry there, and it sucks, because it's just like, I feel like if the rivalry was, kind of like back in the day where, we got better exclusives and everything, we would probably get even better games. But I mean, the good thing is that we are still getting fantastic games. It's just that it's going to be on any platform. It doesn't even matter. But it kind of sucks that there isn't a bigger rivalry in the gaming industry, except for esports type shit like that. But for the console wars and everything like that, the console wars are done. They've been done for a hot minute, in my opinion. They've been done for a hot minute, a good couple of years. But who knows? Maybe it might spark up again. Maybe it might go crazy. Maybe Microsoft and Sony might be like, let's try another crazy console war. But overall, I feel like the rivalry for the gaming industry is just non-existent at this point. It's kind of just like, everything is here. Enjoy whatever the fuck you want to enjoy at this point, because the exclusives themselves, that's what I'm talking about. The exclusives themselves, true, they are amazing games, but they are nothing to just be like, I am so glad I got such console. That's the thing. And that's my opinion on beef with the gaming industry. Now, this last one that I want to talk about is the industry when it comes to beef in animation, mostly just anime versus cartoons. And I feel like the beef there is somewhat high, mostly just because anime, it used to take a backseat when it was coming up, when you had people that watched anime but they never talked about it, because it was they frowned upon it. kind of, because it was just like, oh, you watch anime, blah blah blah, and everything like that. Whereas cartoons were just at the top of their game. Holy shit, they were at the top of their game. But now it has drastically switched. Drastically switched. Anime is at peak right now, in my opinion. Anime has just been giving us greatness like one after another. I mean, look at everything One Piece, look at JJK, look at Chainsaw Man, look at Demon Slayer, look at AOT when it ended. You know, these big monumental animes that are happening, and you don't have any cartoons that can compete with that. You don't have any cartoons that can compete with it, whether it's kids cartoons or like adult cartoons, especially adult cartoons. You have nothing, honestly. We have nothing. There's nothing. And it's crazy to think that how much anime, how big it is that you even have so many cartoons now that are inspired by anime, with like big anime inspirations and everything like that. Even in video games, even in music and everything, anime is just reigning supreme when it comes to, the animation aspect of the entertainment industry. There's nothing when it comes to cartoons, in my opinion. There's nothing. I watch nothing but anime because I'm just like, yeah, I fucking love anime. You have maybe a couple of cartoons here and there that I feel like are really good, but everything has either been shit or it's been falling off. And in my opinion, I can't say anything for SpongeBob, but I feel like it's been falling off a lot. Family Guy, Simpsons, American Dad, and just so much more. So much of the stuff that we grew up with that it was just like, yes, this is like the best shit ever. And now it's just like, I really don't want to watch this anymore. It's the same shtick. It's stupid shtick, but it just keeps going. I mean, back when you had stuff, I think it was around like the 2010s, you had some of the best cartoons come out around that time. Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Regular Show, Gumball, a lot more, better SpongeBob. You have Fairly Odd Parents, that was around the time it might have been falling. And just even more crazy stuff that wasn't even on stuff like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, and you searched for it. Stuff like Final Space, American Dad was really good at that time. You had like Bob's Burgers, the first few seasons and everything like that. Great stuff. Great stuff. But now it's kind of just like, I feel like the big wigs and everything, they're just throwing just so much shit at the wall, and they're like, maybe this will stick for a season. And then that's it. It will stick for like what? A season. And then that's it. That is it for cartoons. And then the biggest cartoons, in my opinion, they are so much like anime. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, I forget. This isn't necessarily an anime. It's a cartoon. Look at Castlevania Nocturne, Blue-Eyed Monster, or Samurai. Blue-Eyed Samurai, my apologies. Which I think that is an anime. It's one or the other. I don't remember. But then you even have stuff that I feel were great cartoons, but then you have bigwigs saying, no, we gotta cancel it, stuff like that. And there were great cartoons. Look at Owl House. And what I hate is, look at Owl House and then Amphibia. They came up around the same time. They had the same premise and everything, but Amphibia, they were able to finish out and, do everything that they needed to do for the cartoon. For Owl House, it was like, it turned into crunch time. And then for the last season, we got 3 like hour-long episodes, and it was just like, there's so much more that could have happened, but it was like one exec was just like, yeah, this doesn't fit like the Disney brand. But Amphibia did, and I was like, they were the same premise, same type of ending and everything, and it was just like, but Amphibia got to get all of their like their character developments, their lore, their stories, and all that shit. They were able to hash all of it out. The Owl House, it came to the 3rd season, and it was just like, yeah, we just gotta fucking roll with it. We gotta crunch some shit together. And it was like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Whereas you have anime, and anime is able to just put all of its shit out there, right? Because one thing I think is very important is source material. When it comes to source material, anime, of course, it has its manga. That's literally majority of anime. There are some that is like completely original stuff. But most of anime that we watch nowadays, it comes from manga. It comes from a certain source. You have a lot of cartoons, they don't necessarily come from a source. Now, of course, you have stuff like Invincible that come from comic books, Marvel, DC, all that stuff. Sure, there are comics out there, but it's not like they follow that, majority of the time. Sure, they follow Invincible, but they changed a decent amount of stuff that happens in it. I've read all of Invincible. They've changed a couple of things. It's not horrible, but they changed a couple of things and stuff like with Marvel and DC, Star Wars, all that shit. There's so much material out there, but it feels like when it comes to the cartoon aspect of animation, they don't necessarily take that into consideration and everything. And one big thing is with this kind of beef between anime and cartoon is not necessarily the demographic, but just understanding the audience. I feel like anime, it does that very well, and they understand like, oh, this one, like this manga should be turned into an anime, and then like we get like beautiful animation, and we even get a studio that we all know and love to do it. For example, look at JJK, Hell's Paradise, and Chainsaw Man. People love these 3 mangas. And I mean, I'm one of them. I literally read all 3 of them. I'm still reading JJK, and I'm still reading Chainsaw Man. Hell's Paradise was fucking fantastic, in my opinion. They're called the Dark Trio, right? It's like the dark side of the big 3, which everyone knows the big 3 is One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. And people love those. And then you also have like Dragon Ball being like another like really big influence and everything. But you have the Dark Trio. People love these fucking mangas so much that they group them together and call it the Dark fucking Trio. So what did one fucking studio do? They said, fuck it, we're gonna make all of them, which was Mappa Studios. Mappa Studios, in my opinion, I think is one of the best fucking anime studios out there right now, because they have given us literally the Dark Trio. They've given us Hell's Paradise, they've given us Chainsaw Man, and we're getting the movie. They've given us all of JJK and plus more, and plus we're getting more JJK. Oh my god, if you have not read the manga for JJK, read the fucking manga. It's gonna be gas. But not only that, they've also given us Vinland Saga Season 2. They've given us the finale for ALT, and then so much more. And it's just like, if we see something from Mappa, we know, oh shit, this is probably going to be gas to like a certain extent. Just seeing the word Mappa with any anime, like upcoming anime, majority of the time, most people are going to put that in their plan to watch. Because it's Mappa. We associate with the studio so much. There are certain studios that is just like, we know this is going to be gas anime. You don't really see that with cartoons. Sure, there are a lot of cartoon studios, but we don't necessarily see a lot of that. And we mostly pick off the nostalgia aspect of it. Look at Pixar, look at Disney Animation Studios, look at DreamWorks. They haven't really been hitting at all these past few years. And these are beloved studios. We love these studios. I mean, back in the day, we had stuff like fucking, holy shit, I'm blanking. Jesus Christ, I'm blanking. Stuff like Frozen, Incredibles 2, Monsters, Inc. We had fucking, holy shit, Kung Fu Panda and a bunch of other stuff. Sure, they've had a couple of bangers here and there, but it hasn't been consistent. That's the thing, consistency when it comes to the studios and everything. Pixar has not been consistent very recently. Look at Elementals, look at Wish, look at whatever the fuck else they're making. Look at DreamWorks. I have no idea because I have not been seeing any DreamWorks. But overall, like, the consistency for cartoon animation just is not there anymore. I mean, I can't think of any big like adult cartoons that I thoroughly love, except for maybe something like Smiling Friends. Holy shit, that mess is so funny. Even something that is so beloved like Rick and Morty has people, the fandom, the fans and everything, it's made it so fucking toxic. Not to say anime itself isn't toxic. I mean, oh my god, look at freaking My Hero fandom. Holy shit, y'all need to calm down. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like anime just always is just getting better. Whether it's the animation, whether it's the using the source material very well, and then creating just beautiful story with beautiful visuals to give us with, just beautiful colors. I'm saying beautiful a lot, but it works. And then you have cartoons where, of course, it's cartoons. It's gonna, really be relatable to kids and everything. But in the past few years, there hasn't been any good cartoons. And I love cartoons. I love kid cartoons, even though I am a 25-year-old man. I fucking love kid cartoons. Why? I just love animation itself. But I can't think of the most recent cartoons that I'm just like, this is some good shit, except for something like Invincible, but that's an adult cartoon. And I mean, I'm thinking about some of the stuff that recently just ended. That was just like, yeah, those were some great stuff. We Bare Bears, like the new generation, like We Bare Bears. And you have Craig of the Creek, Owl House, Amphibia. You have Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Gravity Falls. I'm saying that right. Yes, Gravity Falls, Infinity Train, and, others and everything. But then it's just like, that's it. And then what do we have today? We still have SpongeBob going strong, which, holy shit. We have The Patrick Show, which is a spinoff, which no one really talks about. We have The Loud House, which comes by maybe once every week or two. Holy shit. Like every few weeks. Hell, like every month, once every month. We have, oh my God, I can't think of anything else. And it's just like, I see these new cartoons and everything, and I was just like, they don't look interesting at all. I mean, holy shit, they're not good. And it sucks because I'm just like, I love animation, but I'd rather watch anime over cartoons, but, what was I talking about? I was talking about consistency and everything like that. Another thing is, I talked about it a little bit before about the audience. Cartoons, I feel like they don't know their audience anymore. Anime, they understand their audience. They understand, which, who is this going to be for and everything. They understand that. Hell, cartoons, like kid cartoons, some of them aren't even for kids. They're too shit to even be for kids. But I feel like the audience just is such a big factor because it's the people who watch the shit. And I feel like cartoons, they don't understand that anymore. Look at Family Guy, look at Simpsons. Sure, they're still going, but is it even that good? Sure, it looks fucking amazing. Don't get me wrong, it looks great. But it's just like, okay, it's nothing important going on in the fucking episodes themselves. And look at, they brought back for a little bit, and I guess they canceled it. They brought back Futurama. Now, if you grew up with Futurama, you know that shit was gas. I don't care. That shit was gas. Bender, Fry, Leela, Amy, all of them. Oh my God. Fantastic fucking cartoon. And they ended it, in my opinion, they ended it beautifully because they basically ended it on a fucking big ass loop. AKA, literally the whole entire series can be restarted and it's exactly the same shit that happens, but it's like, that's how they ended it. They ended it saying, hey, we're just gonna restart. And it was just like from episode 1, and it's like, oh, that's a cool way to end it. But then they brought it back and they rewrote the fucking ending with the very first episode. I had no problem with that because I was just like, as long as it's good and everything. But then you had the very first episode talking about so many fucking trends that were going on, and it was just like, why? Why? It's not important. You don't need to do this shit. All right. But then after that, the later episodes after that, I was like, yeah, this is good. This feels like it's just regular Futurama, but it's, now. And I was like, yeah, I love that. It hasn't come back at all. Unless it has. I don't pay for Hulu and everything, but I'm like, it hasn't come back. Where is it? Has it been canceled? Has it ended? We only got like 5-6 episodes, and then that was it. That's all you were gonna do for this fucking reboot? Come on. It was actually good. It was good. It was a good reboot or remake, whatever, what the fuck ever. It was a good, like, coming back to it and everything like that. But then it ended, and it's just like, that was one good IP that you ended so damn quickly. Why? And then you still have stuff like SpongeBob and everything, and it sucks. And it sucked growing up when Teen Titans Go came out. And it kind of felt like the same way with SpongeBob, where it's just like when Teen Titans Go came out, it was trying to capture the audience of people who watched the original Teen Titans. You know, someone like me, I enjoyed that shit so much. And then it was just like, yeah, we want to try and capture some of those people, but then majority is kids. I was just like, that's understandable. I watched one season of it and I was like, yeah, it's not for me. It's mostly for kids, but I'm just like, fine. But then it became the biggest thing on Cartoon Network. Every fucking day, it was nothing but reruns of Teen Titans Go. The only time we got new shit was on like a Thursday or Friday when it was supposed to be new episodes of like Adventure Time, regular show, Flapjack, Chowder, fucking Steven Universe and stuff. But then that's it. And then it went right back into more Teen Titans Go until we got Adult Swim or early in the morning and we got like the old school stuff like Teen Titans. Or K&D, or Courage, or Ed, Edd n Eddy, or any of those others 10 times better fucking cartoons. And it sucks looking at it now that so much great stuff has ended, like Craig of the Creek, and then they gave us the movie, but then they gave us the spinoff, and it's like no one talks about that. The spinoff about his sister, and it's like her big little world, whatever the hell it's called. Did not watch it. And it's just like, yeah, it's not gonna hit like Craig of the Creek. Craig of the Creek was awesome. We got 5 great seasons, and then we got an awesome prequel movie. Holy shit. But it sucks because it's just like now, if you think about it, anything is just mostly just gonna be like reruns of stuff. Anything new, anything brand new is not gonna stick. It's not gonna stick for maybe, give or take, a season, maybe 2, if enough people are just like, I guess it was somewhat worth it. And then it sucks because it's just like, look at something like Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon gave us some great stuff back in the day. OG SpongeBob, Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, Tough Puppy, if anybody remembers that shit. Ren and Stimpy, that was so much not for fucking kids. And it was to the point where I remember watching Ren and Stimpy on Nickelodeon, and I remember seeing it on MTV, and I was like, yep, this is where the fuck you belong, because you are not a kid's show. But other stuff like Invader Zim, Mr. Meaty, which was so fucking weird with puppets and shit. Oh my god. But nowadays it's just like everything you see on Nickelodeon, it's what? Majority of the time it's probably just SpongeBob reruns of like its newest seasons. It's never gonna show the old like season 1, season 2 shit. It's never gonna show that. It's gonna show the newest seasons most likely. Because it's just like, yeah, because Nickelodeon understands this is majority of our this is our cash cow. Like, why would we not? You know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna pump out episodes like that. This is our cash cow. Why the fuck are we gonna stop? Whereas anime takes that leap. Anime is just like, we're going to do some new shit. You know, like they understand, like looking at the polls and looking at all these different mangas that are really gaining traction and everything. And they're just like, yeah, sooner or later, you know, once there's enough for like a one season, like let's give it a shot for an anime. And then putting a very high level studio to animate it. And it's just like, yeah, there's probably going to be a fucking banger. You know what I'm saying? We don't get that for cartoons anymore. And the rivalry between anime and cartoons, it's so fucking out the water. So fucking out the water. Anime is blowing cartoons out the fucking water right now. There is no way cartoons can really gain so much traction that it will overthrow that of anime. It's just not possible. I mean, nowadays, everybody and their fucking mother has an anime podcast. And I hope this doesn't turn into that, but whatever. Everyone goes to fucking Comic Cons. Everyone always is talking about anime. They're always referencing anime. And that's how big it is. You don't see a lot of people referencing brand new cartoons. You don't see people referencing a lot of cartoons nowadays. Back in the day, they did. Holy shit, they did. But nowadays, it's everything fucking anime. Because anime is fucking king for animation right now. Okay? It is king. And it's not like it's not like there's like nothing when it comes to cartoons out there, you know? for like new school, like new shit and everything like that. But it's so few and far between, and it feels so niche. That's another thing. It's so niche. Some of these cartoons. Some cartoons are great. I mean, there's one that I watched. It's called Pantheon. It got 2 seasons, and in my opinion, it's very intriguing and interesting. It's about fucking technology, putting your mind itself on like on the web and shit like that. It's a very intriguing watch. But I feel like it's a very niche type of watch. Like, not a lot of people are really gonna gel with it. Whereas anime, it's more like a very vast amount of people can enjoy this. You know, a vast amount of any age or anything like that. Of course, certain ones, kids shouldn't watch certain animes. That's true, but you know what I mean. Certain animes and everything, it's just like, yeah, this is just for everyone. Look at One Piece. Look at it. You know, look at the big 3. Look at One Piece, Naruto, DBZ. Look at Bleach. Look at even like JJK, Demon Slayer. Look at freaking One Punch Man and stuff like that. They're for all ages. It feels like everyone can get something out of it. Cartoons, the niche ones that are really good, not everyone is going to get something out of it. That's the biggest problem. Not everybody is going to feel somewhat satisfied. With anime, everyone can walk away from an anime and feel some kind of like satisfaction, and it was just like, yeah, I got a little something out of it. Look at AOT. Everyone can get something out of AOT. Look at SAO, even though so many fucking people hate that shit. I love it. That's one of my top 10s. I don't care. But look at something like SAO. Everyone can get something out of it because it talks about something that also is big, which is video games, which is, you know, and you know, so many people were just like, yeah, we should get a fucking nervier one. I don't want that shit. I want the new one that they made because that's more safe. But anyways, something like that, and it's like so relatable. Cartoons just don't feel relatable anymore. It's all just slapstick nonsense humor. There's no big stories going on. There's no like big character developments. And of course, certain cartoons, like kids cartoons, sure, you're not gonna fucking get that. Why the hell would there be fucking dramatic character development in something like fucking Baby Shark or some shit? Oh my god, what? No. But it feels like not everyone can get something out of this. Even its own demographic, it feels like they're not gonna get anything out of it. Except it's just background music. That's all it is. It's just background noise at this point. Majority of cartoons is just background noise. But anime, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna watch, you're gonna read if you enjoy subs or dubs, whichever one you fancy. That might be another episode talking about subs and dubs. But you know, whichever one you fancy, whatever. But people are going to pay attention to animes because of even the ones that are like slapstick humor. That is, you know, just really stupid stuff that goes on. Look at something like Konosuba. Yes, there is a story that goes on, but majority of the time, these motherfuckers are just doing dumb shit. And I love that shit. Oh my god, Konosuba has to be one of the funniest fucking animes out there. But it keeps you intrigued. It keeps you watching because you're just like, it's so intriguing. It's so funny. I want to know what happens next. Cartoons, turn it off. Because it's just like, if I've seen it once, you've seen it all. If you've seen one episode or something, you've seen all the episodes. They're just slightly different. Maybe there's like one new character. Maybe there's a returning character. That's it. You're not going to get anything brand new. You're not going to feel that intrigueness that you feel with anime. And that's why I feel the rivalry when it comes to like anime and cartoons, anime is just winning. And I don't see it stopping like at all, especially now. Because we have gotten crazy shit coming in now. I mean, this season alone, we have Slime, we have Irregular season 3, we have Konosuba season 3, we have, I know JJK is coming like next year or the year after that. But for cartoons, what cartoons recently have been great? I know Spider-Verse cartoon, the movies and everything, those have been great. Don't get me wrong, those have been great. You've had a couple of DreamWorks ones. There's 3 DreamWorks cartoons that I feel were phenomenal. I feel like they were phenomenal because there was a lot of anime inspiration as well, which is the She-Ra run, I'm saying that weirdly, which is 5 seasons, Kipo, which is 3 seasons, and then you have the Voltron one that they made, which was like 8 seasons. Trust me, you can watch all of it. It's not crazy. But I'm thinking about it now, and I'm just like, anything that I watch cartoon wise, there's a if not, gotta go. This is just a small bit continuation from the animation segment. Someone was at the door and shit, so I had to cut it. But like I said, yeah, anime is winning. Anime is just on top. Like I said, there's only been a handful of great fucking cartoons, and like I just said, Kipo, She-Ra, Voltron. You've had the Spider-Verse movies. Can't wait for the third one. That's gonna be great. And maybe Invincible. That was pretty good. I enjoyed the season 2 finale of that. You've had that might be it. That actually might be it. Holy shit. But I mean, I can probably count the amount of cartoons that I've watched maybe in the past year or two on my hands. Anime, I can't. I've watched nothing but anime. But overall, like I said, the beef between anime and cartoons, it's just, in all honesty, it's like there's no debate. Anime is just on top. Anime is just winning. There's no way cartoon can really come back and make a big splash. But that's my take on it. That's my take on animation and the beef and everything. And with that, that's the end of the episode. And I just want to give my final thoughts on a couple of things, my final words on beef when it comes to the entertainment industry. But as I said before, when it comes to music, it's just publicity stunts at this point. It's nothing that is really going to impact anyone. It's not even going to impact the artist in question. It's not really going to impact them, because it's just like, I'm still going to sell I'm still going to sell millions. I'm still going to sell however many records. But now I'm probably going to sell a little bit more because of this little publicity stunt. That's all music is. That's all music beefs are nowadays. It's mostly publicity stunts. Gaming industry is basically dead. Basically is dead. There's no reason for console wars or anything like that. Any big game that everyone can enjoy, you can enjoy it on any console. You can enjoy it on a PC. You could possibly even enjoy that shit on the fucking Switch. It probably won't look the best, but you can still enjoy it on Switch. And, everything is becoming multi-platform. Everything. Hell, even some exclusives, give or take, give it a year or two, they'll be on all other consoles. And that's the fucking truth. They'll be on all other consoles. So beef when it comes to the gaming industry, it's basically just embers at this point. Embers. And the final one is the animation beef, anime versus cartoons. Anime is on top. Just crazy shit that we are getting. And cartoons, we are not getting anything great. And I've seen some new ones. I've seen announcement for new ones. They don't captivate me. And I'm pretty sure they don't captivate a lot of people. I'm pretty sure they're just like, why the hell are you making this? There are so many that I see, and it's just like, there's been nothing to talk about. You see anime trailers, you get all the trailers, you get all the crazy shit coming in and everything like that. You get a good glimpse of it, and you just get a nice little teaser of it, and it's just like, I'm in. I'm all in, god damn it. And, that's my take on the entertainment industry when it comes to beef and everything. Music, publicity stunts, gaming industry, embers, and then you have the animation entertainment industry, which is anime is the best. Cartoons are not winning. But that has been another episode of the Demonic Wave podcast. Definitely tune in for the next episode, and peace.